Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live to 122 years old? Do you think it's possible? What if I told you there's a woman who did exactly that? Her name was Jeanne Calment, and she holds the world record for the longest confirmed human lifespan. Her story is not just about living long, it's about living well. But what's the secret to living such a long, healthy life? In this video we'll dive into the habits and tips that could help you live longer and feel better every day. Let's dive in. Jeanne Calment's remarkable journey. Jeanne Calment was born in 1875, in the small town of Alès, France. This was a time when cars and aeroplanes hadn't even been invented yet. Can you imagine? The world was a very different place. Fast forward to 1997 when Jeanne passed away at the age of 122. That's right, 122 years old. In her life, she saw the world change in ways no one could have predicted, from the Eiffel Tower being built to humans landing on the moon. Her life is a living example of what can happen when you live a healthy lifestyle. But what did Jeanne do to live so long? Was it just luck, or did she follow some specific habits that we can learn from? Luck versus lifestyle, what really matters? It's tempting to think that Jeanne's long life was just a matter of good luck. After all, it's not every day you meet someone who lives more than a century. But what if I told you that research shows lifestyle matters far more than luck when it comes to longevity? In fact, studies suggest that only about 20% of how long we live is determined by genetics. The other 80% is determined by our choices, what we eat, how we move, and the way we manage stress. Isn't that amazing? Jeanne's life teaches us that with the right habits, we can take control of our health and increase our chances of living a long, happy life. The power of movement. One of the most important lessons we can learn from Jeanne and other long-living people is the power of movement. But here's the thing, it's not about going to the gym and lifting heavy weights. It's about moving naturally throughout the day. Jeanne didn't spend hours in a gym, but she stayed active by walking around and taking care of her daily tasks. People in blue zones, regions of the world where people live the longest, are often very active, but in ways that don't feel like exercise. They walk to the store, tend to their gardens, and even do household chores that get them moving. What can you do? Try walking more. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Walk to your friend's house instead of driving. You'll be surprised at how much better you feel when you start moving more every day. Find your purpose. Did you know that having a sense of purpose can actually help you live longer? In places like Okinawa, Japan, people don't just retire and stop working when they get older. They have something called ikigai, which means a reason for being. It's all about having a purpose in life, something that makes you excited to get out of bed every morning. Maybe your purpose is to help others like Jeanne did, or perhaps it's something creative like painting or writing. The important thing is to find something that brings you joy and makes you feel connected to the world. Having a purpose can add years to your life and life to your years. Stress less. We all know that stress is bad for our health, but did you know that chronic stress can shorten your life? When you're constantly stressed, it affects everything from your heart to your immune system. People in blue zones have figured out how to manage stress, and one of their best secrets is making time to relax. Whether it's taking a short nap, doing some light meditation, or simply sitting quietly for a few minutes, it's important to find ways to de-stress. Think about how often you feel rushed or overwhelmed. How can you change that? Try setting aside a few minutes every day just to relax and breathe deeply. It might seem small, but it can make a big difference in how you feel and how long you live. The 80% rule, eating until you're almost full. Jeanne lived through some tough times, including both world wars, but she didn't just survive, she thrived. And one of the habits that helped her was eating in moderation. In places like Okinawa and Sardinia, people follow something called the 80% rule. This simply means eating until you're 80% full, not 100% full. What happens when you eat less? You give your body a chance to digest properly and avoid the strain that comes from overeating. If you've ever felt sleepy or sluggish after a big meal, you know what I mean. Eating less helps you feel lighter and more energized. So, next time you sit down for a meal, try listening to your body. Eat slowly, savor each bite, and stop when you feel comfortably full, not stuffed. The power of plant-based foods. Another key to Jeanne's long life was her diet. She didn't follow any strict diet rules, but she did eat mostly plant-based foods. Research shows that people who eat a diet rich in vegetables, fruits, legumes, and whole grains live longer and healthier lives. While Jeanne may have enjoyed a little bit of meat now and then, it was never the main focus of her meals. You don't have to become a full-time vegetarian, but try adding more plant-based foods to your diet. Maybe start with a meatless Monday, or add more salads and vegetables to your meals. Your body will thank you. Drink in moderation. While Jeanne didn't live in a blue zone, she did enjoy a glass of wine from time to time. In places like Sardinia, moderate wine consumption is a key part of the culture. But the key here is moderation. Studies show that people who drink a little but not too much tend to live longer than those who abstain completely or drink heavily. So, if you enjoy a drink now and then, go ahead and enjoy it. Just make sure it's in moderation. A small glass of wine with dinner could actually be good for your health. Family and community, the power of connection. Jeanne had a strong sense of family, and this was another key to her long life. Research shows that people who prioritize their family and relationships live longer, happier lives. In blue zones, many people live in multi-generational households, where grandparents, parents, and children all live together and support each other. Building strong relationships and being part of a supportive community is incredibly important for longevity. So make time for your loved ones. Whether it's a family dinner, a weekly phone call to a friend, or joining a community group, the connections you build will improve both your health and your happiness. Having a positive outlook on life. Finally, one of the most important factors in Jeanne's long life was her positive attitude. Research has shown that people who maintain an optimistic outlook and practice gratitude tend to live longer. Jeanne's sense of humor and her ability to stay positive, even in the face of adversity, helped her stay healthy throughout her life. What can you do to stay positive? Try keeping a gratitude journal, or make a habit of reflecting on the good things in your life. A positive mindset doesn't just make you feel better, it could help you live longer too. Start living longer today. Now that we've learned some of Jeanne's secrets to longevity, it's time to put them into practice. Remember, it's not about making big drastic changes, it's about making small adjustments every day. Move more naturally, eat mindfully, stay connected with loved ones, and find your purpose. And don't forget, stress less and stay positive. These little habits can add up over time and help you live a longer, healthier, and more fulfilling life. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more tips on how to live your healthiest, happiest life. Thanks for watching, and here's to many more years of good health and happiness.